I grew up around music and around sound. My dad was the sound man at our church, and I was always surrounded by him, coiling cables at the sound console. One thing that my dad always stressed to me was how important dynamics are to the emotional experience that people are having. He knew emotionally where those points were that he wanted to hit and where he wanted the music to be the most well-balanced and the most powerful. That was a big moment for me at such a young age. My name is Natalie Houle, and I am a second-year MFA Sound Design student at UC Irvine. So as a part of our program, we have a class called Advanced Sound Techniques, and in that we pick 5 different plays and we analyze them and we talk about how we would design them if we were designing them in real life. We were assigned to design one transition or one scene in Elisa through Elisa Studio.
Back in April, we brought all of our graduate MFA level sound designers and a couple of undergrads up to Westlake Village for a day-long visit to L-Acoustics North American headquarters.
So when we were at Westlake, this was a huge moment for me because hearing my material in the studio with the surround speakers, with the overheads, was incredibly inspiring, and it opened up a whole new door to me that I never really knew existed.
She was inspired and was sort of transformed and kind of vibrating with energy. She was captivated by the possibilities and was committed to trying to find a way to use the ELISA system in her work for the story of Biddy Mason here on campus at UC Irvine.
As I got to know the play better and as I kept rereading it, I began to see it through this lens of spatialization. All of those different things that Elisa can do, I started to see them in the script and see them pop up and look for opportunities to manipulate it best. This opened up the doors for me with new colors and new ways of thinking about how the movement could be manipulated, and certainly in terms of scale and density. The concept of Elisa is all about making space for musical and sound elements. So it could be a rock concert or it could be a musical, but the concept is of each single element having its own bubble, whether that's a wide bubble or a very small bubble. And so that solves the problem, in my mind, of all these shows that I had heard before that had very crowded sound to them. And so the idea of having this definition seemed like such a more musical and artistic way of approaching sound in general. We're able to manipulate the sound to feel like this abstract thing is now a solid object. It's gone from the abstract land of just seeing the movement and possibly questioning really what it is to now having enough recognition to say, ah, yes, that's a wagon wheel. And on top of that, to have it spatialized so that it moves with the actors. So it's more of a feeling and a gesture. In terms of the sound, I wanted to be able to go from extremely intimate and small and humble to huge and monumentous. I wanted to figure out a way to do that, and Elisa seemed like the perfect answer of how to achieve that. Because Biddy Mason was a movement-based piece, it was super important to me to be able to synchronize with the actors where I could, and also because they were not mic'd, to give them space where I could. It was important to me that I was going to be able to send sound either across the projection screen or up and down the projection screen. What I often did was putting nature elements that were down low, like crickets, and then also nature elements like wind and rain that could come from above. I wanted the audience to feel like they were in the rain, that they were, surrounded by water, like the organ was impacting them at their chest, as if a hand was on their chest, on their heart. In the future, I'd really like to see for the expectations of audiences and sound designers who attend productions to be increased in terms of how immersive we can be, how much impact our sounds can have, how delicate we can be with relationship to visual elements, how we can be better in sync with each other so that we as a whole communicate what we're trying to communicate in the most impactful, unified way possible.